Welcome back to Sunain Sir's online classes. In this video, I am going to explain you evaporation. What is evaporation? Let me explain you with this with an example. Here in this image, you can see that if you take water in a tub and if you keep it outside in outer space, after some hours, whether it may be 2 or 3 hours, this level of water is being decreased. Level of water is being decreased. So, what happens to this water? This water is being evaporated and it is getting mixed with the air. So for example, if you take water in a tub up to this level and if we keep it in outer space, in outside surroundings, and after some time, after 1 or 2 hours, if you observe, level of water will be decreased. It means the remaining water is being evaporated and it is getting mixed with the air. So why is this happening? So according to kinetic theory of gases, molecules, liquid and gaseous molecules will be always moving randomly in different directions. Liquid and gaseous molecules will be always moving randomly in different directions. It means they will have some kinetic energy. They will move randomly in different directions. So in the same way, the molecules which are present on the surface of the water or on the surface of the liquid, also they will also move in different directions. Some of the molecules will move in downward direction and some of the molecules will move in upward direction. So whatever the molecules moving upward direction, they will get evaporated and they will get mixed with the air. Now as the temperature increases, this kinetic energy of the molecules also increases, and these molecules, when there is high temperature, these molecules will move very fast in upward and downward directions. The molecules which are moving in upward direction, they will get evaporated. It means as temperature increases, rate of evaporation also increases. So this is how evaporation is taking place. Now let us see what happens when evaporation takes place. Now for example, I have a tub which is filled with water in this way. Now some of the surface molecules are being evaporated from the surface of the liquid. It means evaporation is taking place. Now whenever molecules are evaporated, then these surface molecules which are present on the surface of the liquid, it means these liquid molecules are being evaporated. It means they are being converted into vapor. It means liquid molecules are being converted into vapor. Now in order to convert liquid into vapor, what is needed? Definitely latent heat of vaporization, heat energy, that is 540 calories per gram is needed. It means if you take 1 gram of liquid molecules, for them in order to convert into vapor, 540 calories of heat energy is needed. But from where this heat energy is being supplied? So we are not supplying any heat energy. When we keep this tub outside in the outer surroundings, we are not supplying any heat energy. Without supplying any heat energy, liquid molecules which are present on the surface of the liquid are being converted into vapor. It means they are taking heat energy from somewhere. So they are taking this heat energy from the remaining liquid molecules which are present below the surface. From these liquid molecules, they are taking heat energy, and that is 540 calories per gram latent heat. They are taking from the below molecules which are present below the surface, and they are converted into vapor. These molecules are converted into vapor. It means remaining water is being cooled because these surface molecules, while they are being converted into vapor, they are extracting heat energy from the remaining molecules which are present below the surface, and remaining water is being cooled. This is how evaporation is taking place, and from this we can conclude that evaporation is a cooling process. Evaporation is a cooling process. Now let us see definition of evaporation. Evaporation is a process of escaping of liquid molecules from the surface of a liquid. Evaporation is a surface phenomena. It is always a surface phenomenon, and it can take place at any temperature. It can take place at any temperature. It can take place at room temperature, at 25 degrees centigrade, at 35 degrees centigrade, or 45 degrees centigrade. At any temperature, evaporation can take place. And during evaporation, kinetic energy of the molecules will remain constant. During evaporation, kinetic energy of the molecules will remain constant. And evaporation always depends on surface area. If you take large surface area, then evaporation will take place very fast. If you take small surface area, only less number of molecules will evaporate because there are less number of surface molecules. If you take large surface area, there will be large number of surface molecules, hence there are more chances of these surface molecules to escape from the surface. But in less surface area, there are less surface molecules, that is why less evaporation will take place. And if surface area is more, then rate of evaporation is high. And this rate of evaporation also depends on wind speed. If wind speed is high, if air is flowing very fast, then evaporation will be more. And evaporation also depends on temperature. If temperature is high, then evaporation also high, rate of evaporation also high. That is why during summer season, temperatures will be very high. That is why more number of water molecules from the surfaces of seas and oceans will get evaporated and they will get mixed in the air. That is why during summer season, humidity, that is water vapor present in the air, will be very high, nearly 80%. And evaporation also depends on water vapor present in air. If there is more amount of water vapor present in air, then air will not absorb the evaporated molecules. If there is less number of water vapor present in the air, then air will readily absorb the evaporated molecules. Now let us see some examples of evaporation. Sweating of human body. We all know that during summer season, when temperature is very high, our human body will start sweating in this way, as you can see in the image. Why is this happening? During summer season, temperature will be very high, and in order to cool the body, our sweat glands will release sweat. When air flows through our skin, all the sweat present on our skin will try to evaporate. Whatever the sweat present on our skin, it will try to evaporate when air flows through our skin. So when sweat evaporates, our body will become cool, because this sweat liquid molecules whichever present on our skin, they will be converted into vapor, and while they are converting into vapor, they will absorb the latent heat of vaporization from our skin, and as a result our body gets cooled. Next example, why dogs pant during summer season? Dogs panting. What is panting? Panting is nothing but dogs, they will keep their tongue outside and they will continuously release saliva on their tongue. This is nothing but panting. They will keep their tongue outside and they will continuously release saliva on the tongue. That is called panting. Reason is, dogs will not have sweat glands on their body like humans. Humans will have sweat glands throughout the skin, but whereas dogs will not have sweat glands throughout the skin, they will have sweat glands only on their feet and tongue. So during summer season, in order to cool their body, what they will do is, they will keep their tongue outside and they will continuously release saliva on it. When air flows through their tongue, saliva gets evaporated, and while evaporating this saliva, it is being converted from liquid state to solid state. That is why this saliva will extract heat energy from the body, extract latent heat of vaporization from the body to get converted into vapor, and as a result body gets cooled, as evaporation is a cooling process. Next example is palm gets cooled. Palm gets cooled when spirit is poured on it. In this way, I think most of you have experienced of taking spirit or petrol in their hand. If you take spirit or petrol in your hand, then immediately that spirit or petrol or kerosene, it will get evaporated because they are volatile in nature. Because of their high volatility, they will get evaporated very fast and very easily. And while evaporating petrol or kerosene, they need latent heat in order to convert from liquid state to gaseous state. That is why they will absorb heat energy from our hand, and our hand will get cooled. So when we pour spirit or petrol on our hand gets cooled immediately, because spirit is having nature of high volatility. Because of this high volatile nature, it will evaporate very fast, and while evaporating this spirit or petrol or kerosene, it will convert from liquid state to vapor state. That is why when converting from liquid state to vapor state, any substance needs latent heat of vaporization. So this latent heat of vaporization, this spirit or petrol or kerosene, it will absorb from our hand and gets converted into vapor, and as a result our hand gets cooled because heat energy is removed from our hand. And another example is wet cloths will dry very fast when wind is blowing. So when wind is blowing, in this way, if we keep wet cloths in the outside surroundings, in the outside, then these wet cloths will dry very fast. Reason is, when wind is blowing, cloths will dry very fast, because when wind speed is high, rate of evaporation increases, and all the water present in the wet cloths will evaporate very fast because of high rate of evaporation, and cloths will dry very fast. And why water will be cool in earthen pots? In earthen pots like this, if you have these pots in your house, you can observe the water whichever it is present in this pot, it will be very cool. The reason is, these earthen pots will have large number of small pores. Water present in the pot will try to evaporate continuously through these pores. As a result, remaining water present in the pot gets cooled because of evaporation, as evaporation is a cooling process. Now let us see what is condensation. Condensation is nothing but the process of phase change from gas to liquid. From gas to liquid, if phase change takes place at any temperature, it may be at room temperature or 25 degrees centigrade or 35 degrees centigrade or 45 degrees, at any temperature, if gaseous phase changes into liquid phase, then it is called condensation. Condensation is nothing but it's just a reverse process of evaporation. Just like evaporation, condensation takes place at any temperature, but it is from gases to liquid, whereas evaporation is from liquid to gas. In condensation, average kinetic energy of the molecules increases, and evaporation is a cooling process, we know that. So condensation is a reverse of evaporation, that is why it is a warming process. Condensation is always a warming process. Now let us see one example of condensation. Why do we feel warm after shower if we stay in the bathroom? In this way, when we stay in the bathroom, then especially when bathroom is small size and when it is having less ventilation, it means when there is no airflow in the bathroom, and when it is very small in size, then what happens? Then when we bath, all the water molecules will get converted into vapor, and when this vapor is forming continuously, and when room is having sufficient amount of vapor, and when room is not at all ready to take any vapor molecules, all the vapor molecules which are present in the room will start condensing. When all the molecules which are present in the room starts condensing, then these molecules will release heat energy, as condensation is a warming process, and as a result room gets heated. So when we take bath under a shower on a hot day, when we bath, large number of water molecules evaporate, and hence large number of vapor molecules are present in the room. When sufficient number of vapor molecules are present and room is unable to accommodate vapor molecules anymore, when room is full of vapor molecules and when it is unable to accommodate still any vapor molecules, then what happens? Then all these vapor molecules will start condensing, and when they are condensing, these vapor molecules, they will start releasing heat energy. As a result, room becomes hot. Now let us see what is melting, boiling and freezing. Melting is a process where solid converts into liquid at constant temperature. Example is ice melts into water at 0 degrees centigrade at constant temperature. It means it will happen only at one temperature, not like any temperature in case of evaporation and condensation. Melting will take place only at one temperature. That is, for example, if you take ice melts into water at 0 degrees centigrade only, not at any other temperature like 10, 20, 30. So melting is a process where solid converts into liquid at constant temperature. Similarly, freezing is a process where liquid converts into solid at constant temperature. For example, water is converting into ice. This also happens at constant temperature only, that is at one temperature only, at 0 degrees centigrade only. Water converts into ice at 0 degrees centigrade only, not at any temperature as in case of evaporation or condensation, not at any temperature like 10, 20, 30. It will happen only at 0 degrees centigrade only. So these two are melting and freezing. These two are reverse process to each other. They are reverse process of each other. And boiling is a process where liquid converts into gas at constant temperature. Boiling is also at constant temperature. For example, if you take water converts into vapor at 100 degrees centigrade only, not at any other temperature. Whereas evaporation is a process where liquid converts into vapor at any temperature, can be at room temperature, at 25, 35, 45, 50, at any temperature evaporation can take place, whereas boiling will take place only at one temperature, that is 100 degrees centigrade. Only water boils, water converts into vapor, whereas evaporation can take place at any temperature. Similarly, condensation is a process where gas converts into liquid at any temperature. It may be at room temperature or 25 degrees centigrade or 35 degrees centigrade. And in this image you can see here ice is melting into water at 0 degrees centigrade. This is the example of melting. And here water is freezing into ice at 0 degrees centigrade. These two are reverse processes to each other, melting and freezing. And in this image you can see water is boiling at 100 degrees centigrade. So water boils only at 100 degrees centigrade. Boiling is the process of converting liquid into gas, liquid state into gaseous state. Now let us see humidity. Humidity, the amount of water vapor present in air, is called humidity. Best example for this is, in order to prove that how air contains water vapor. I'll tell you one example. That is, when we switch on AC and when we see outside in outdoor unit will continuously release water through drain pipe. So from where this water is coming? From the drain pipe. If you observe, continuously it will release water. So from where this water is coming? This water is coming from the air inside the room. If you switch on air conditioner, the air whichever is present in the room, air conditioner will try to absorb all the water present in the air, and it will send this water, it will condense all the water which are present in the air, and it will send this water outside to drain pipe. It means from this we can understand that air always contains water vapor. Air always contains water vapor. Now, how much water vapor can air absorb? Air also will have some capacity to absorb water vapor. If you take that capacity as 100%, on a 100% scale, if we take during summer season, air humidity present in the air, that is water vapor present in the air, will be 80% because of higher temperatures. Because of higher temperatures in summer season, more amount of evaporation will take place from seas and oceans, and all this water whichever evaporated from the surfaces of seas and oceans will get mixed in the air, and air will have high amount of water vapor, that is nearly 80 to 90% during summer season. Whereas in winter season temperatures will be very low, that is why evaporation will be very less, and amount of water vapor present in the air during winter season will be around 20 to 30% only. In winter season humidity will be around 20 to 30%, and air will have higher affinity towards water vapor, and wherever water is present it will try to absorb the water in the form of vapor. Air will always have higher affinity. It means air will try to absorb the water wherever it sees water, and this also will have some limit, that is only 100%. On a 100 scale, if it is fully saturated with water vapor, it cannot absorb water vapor anymore. In summer seasons, as temperature is high, rate of evaporation will be high and humidity will be around 90%, and in winter season, as evaporation will be less, humidity will be around 30% only. So in winter season, as humidity present in the air is less, whenever air flows through our skin and through our face, it will try to absorb all the water present in our body, and it will absorb the water present in our body from our skin, from our face and from our lips, and as a result our face and our lips gets crack during winter season. That is why we will always apply moisturizing cream during winter season in order to protect our skin. And what is dew? Dew is nothing but, during winter season we know that temperature will be very low and surfaces of window panes and flowers, grass, etc. will be at low temperature. So when air flows through these low temperature surfaces, water vapor present in the surroundings air will condense because of low temperature and forms as water droplets on these surfaces. So these water droplets present on the surface of the grass, flowers, etc. is known as dew. This is nothing but dew in this image. Water droplets present on the surfaces of grass, flowers, etc. is nothing but dew, and this is happening because of low temperatures. Water vapor whichever present in the air, it will condense and it will form as water droplets. Next, fog. Fog is nothing but when temperature falls to very low temperatures. In case of winters, when temperature is very low, then water vapor present in the air condense on dust particles of the air, not only on surfaces of window panes, grass, flowers, etc., but also when temperature is very low, water vapor present in the air directly condenses on the dust particles of the air and forms like a thick mist. This thick mist of condensed water molecules floating in air which restricts the visibility is called fog. Here in this image you can see fog. This is nothing but fog. When temperature falls very low, then water vapor present in the air condense on the dust particles of the air and forms as a thick mist in this way. This thick mist of water molecules which are floating in the air and which restricts the visibility is nothing but fog. Thank you for watching the video. I hope it's helpful. Thank you.